The man drifted with his family on the sea for a whole month, and every day he kept himself and his family alive by eating live fish. One day, the man could no longer endure it, so he turned his gaze away and began to think about eating his little child who was sitting in front of him. At that moment, when the cruel father tried to pick up the child's mother lifted the boat paddle, struck the cruel father, and threw him into the sea. The fish then ate him, and the family of three continued to float on the sea. Finally, when they were about to die of hunger, Rachel saw a small island in front of them. At first, Rachel thought it was an illusion, but after looking carefully, she realized it was real, and she immediately became very happy. Their boat successfully reached the shore, and Rachel climbed onto the island with her two children. She first thought of feeding her children, so Rachel used a sharp object to break a coconut, took out some of it to gain strength, then took a piece of cloth and built a simple tent. Thus, Rachel and her two children survived. Rachel then went out to look for fresh water. After walking a little distance, she saw a stream, quickly filled her kettle with water, and saw bananas, papayas, and even trees. With these fruits, Rachel could feed her two children, and they would never again die of hunger. But just then, the weather suddenly changed, and after a while, without any warning, heavy rain began to fall. Rachel quickly took her two children to the shelter to save them from the rain, but she realized that her tent had collapsed. She had no other option, so she wrapped her children in a blanket to protect them from the rain. When the rain stopped, Rachel saw that the tent had completely collapsed, and she realized she had to build a new shelter. At that moment, her child suddenly called out, "Mom!" Rachel turned around and saw a small wooden house. She was overjoyed and immediately went toward the wooden house. Please subscribe to watch the next video.